passage that we've chosen from Shakespeare's Macbeth is spoken by Macbeth himself in Act 1, Scene 7, lines 1 to 25. Throughout the passage, Macbeth is trying to conquer his internal conflict on whether he should commit Duncan's murder or not. Macbeth reveals that his only motivation to do the deed would be his own ambition.
This passage contains lots of literal imagery, highlighted in orange, and some symbolism, highlighted in yellow. Here, what Macbeth means is that if the assassination of the king were like a net, sweeping him up and protecting him from any worldly consequences, he would do it in a heartbeat. This demonstrates his willingness to put his soul on the line to become king. When Macbeth says, "Upon this bank and shoal of time," he is comparing our short human lives to a shallow bank of water, and our long afterlives to a deep ocean. This shows again how big his ambition is, as it shows how he would risk his long afterlife just to become king. Here, he is acknowledging that there are still punishments for him in the world, saying that justice makes everybody face what they have done to others. He uses the visual imagery of the poisoned chalice, which represents the deed of killing Duncan, coming back and poisoning his own lips. This is an example of Macbeth using taste imagery. Macbeth recognizes that by the rules of hospitality, he should be protecting Duncan from killers, not be the killer himself. He uses the visual image of shutting a door on the killer. This concrete description demonstrates that he does still have some morality, since he's debating his decision to kill Duncan, because he knows it isn't right. By great office, Macbeth means Duncan's time in power. When Macbeth uses the auditory image that Duncan's virtues will plead like angels trumpet-tongued against his death, he is saying that since he has been such a good leader, his legacy will speak for him when he dies. He also says that a newborn baby will ride with winged angels on an air current of pity, so strong that it will make every eye that it blows in weep. He uses these visual images because it indicates to the audience that Duncan's death will have great consequences and will not go unnoticed, as he is loved by many, so they will not be happy to see him murdered. The newborn baby and the cherubims symbolize Duncan's innocence. Macbeth knows that he will never be an honorable king if he comes to the throne this way, and that everybody will find out about his treachery. When Macbeth describes his ambition as vaulting, the visual image he creates for the audience is one of a leaping pole vaulter. This focuses on the fact that his ambition to kill Duncan is bigger than any of the reasons why he should not. This relates to the theme of the corruption of Macbeth's untamed ambition. Though to the audience, the reasons not to kill Duncan greatly outweigh the reasons to kill him, Macbeth's ambition is the main reason for him to kill the king, and he feels that it is strong enough to push him to regicide. Here,
in Act 1, Scene 7, Macbeth's soliloquy demonstrates a whole lot of figurative imagery. The first couple of lines indicate Macbeth's ambition. He is quite impatient to finish the assassination and get it over with. Assassination in this case is shown as a personification. Macbeth is metaphorically speaking when he says trammel up the consequence. This really just means that he wants the assassination not to have any consequences, just as a sieve doesn't allow larger grains of flour to enter the bowl. The word blow personifies the incident or the deed he is planning on committing. When he says might be the be-all, end-all here, he trusts that the death of Duncan is the event that will complete everything. Here in the present, we are in a shallow shoal, where we can clearly see what is going on. The future, however, is the deeper part of the ocean, which we cannot see, and we cannot see how the current runs. We would like to jump it, to go clearly to our goal, but instead we have to work through the dark currents. And because we cannot jump the life to come, this personifies risk and how we must take life as it comes. When Macbeth metaphorically says bloody instructions, bloody quite figuratively means that in teaching someone to murder, they come back and murder you. A sort of bloody justice. Macbeth is probably referring to all the battles he fought for the king, all the men he killed for the king in the process, and now he's taking what he's learned and applying it to the king right now. Even-handed justice is an idiom that is basically saying what goes around comes around. Poisoned chalice is a metaphor that almost means a cruel plan, and to our lips shows that the plan has backfired and is now bringing trouble to ourselves. When Macbeth says he means Duncan. This here shows Macbeth's rationale for why he shouldn't commit the murder. Strong both shows that Macbeth thinks that both of his arguments are strong. When Macbeth says he should against the murderer shut the door, he means that he should be stopping the murderer. Then he says, not bear the knife myself, which shows that he realizes that he shouldn't be the traitor, but rather the protector. Macbeth continues to list Duncan's great qualities. And here, his virtues personifies that Duncan's deeds will mourn his death, since he was such a noble and pious man. His deeds will still have an effect on him even after his death. Will plead like angels trumpet-tongued is a simile, which continues to compare Duncan's virtues with angels. And pity like a newborn babe is both a personification and a simile. It shows that Macbeth will pity Duncan's death, just as a person would pity a crying baby. Striding the blast is both a metaphor and ironic, which means he'll embrace the sounds of the angels, showing that he has some sort of faith. Heaven's cherubim horsed is a metaphor that means that the angels will cry so much that their voices will become hoarse. Shall blow the horrid deed in every eye is a metaphor that means that the angels will punish those who commit the crime. That tears will drown the wind is a hyperbole, as it exaggerates the amount of crying that will occur. The last couple of sentences relate back to the overarching theme of ambition in this passage.
In this passage, Macbeth is having an internal conflict on whether to stay loyal to the king or to kill the king and take over his power. Shakespeare uses this passage to create a dramatic atmosphere throughout the whole scene. Most of the characters in Shakespeare's plays speaks in iambic pentameter. Shakespeare uses iambic pentameter especially for noble-birth people like Macbeth. Iambic pentameter means that there are 10 syllables in every line and every other syllable is stressed. It is a poetic way of speaking that adds rhythm to characters' dialogue, especially in monologues such as this one. First, Macbeth is comparing the pros and cons of murdering the king, and he starts speaking long flowing sentences to show that he's worried but also excited with the decision that he made to kill Duncan. He is aware of the powerful reasons for murdering the king, but nagged by self-doubt arising from his fear, and the negative effects it will have on his life and reputation. This is the climax of the passage. He explained that he can't spur himself to action, but his ambition is the only thing that motivates him towards the disaster that will happen in the future.
All these elements in the passage all build upon one central theme in the play, Macbeth's corrupting ambition.